Hi, welcome to Incoming Freshman Parent Night. I'm Erica Empey, one of the counselors at Heartland High School, and I'm going to be here to walk you through the process of helping your child pick all their classes for their incoming freshman year. These are just some names of some people that you're going to want to be familiar with. Our administrators work with students all throughout the alphabet. They do have an assigned caseload to them specifically, so being familiar with who your student's administrator is can be particularly helpful. And in addition, the counselors, we are also set up alphabetically. So your student's counselor will be working with them for the next 4 years. You can see the breakdown of all of our various alphabets. In addition, Mrs. Shinjek is our student assistance coordinator. She doesn't have a section of the alphabet specifically, but she does handle programming and supports for students K-12. So it seems a little weird to start a incoming high school presentation with a definition of what is college, but we feel like it's really important to set this intention right from the beginning that all of our students in Heartland go to college because we consider college to be any term or any program that supports some kind of credential after high school. So any form of post-secondary education. When we use the term college, it's a quick catch-all term to mean 2- and 4-year schools, community colleges, trade schools, apprenticeship programs, anything that's going to lead your child to a credential after high school. We presented today at the middle school a video very similar to the one that we're sharing with you right now. And one of the things that's really nice for the students when they come to the high school is how many more opportunities that they have at the high school. But one of the things that we shared with students is that getting involved isn't just something that we want them to do, it's something that we strongly recommend that they do. There's a lot of data that shows that students that are involved in extracurricular activities do better overall in school than students who do not. And so as a result of that, it's pretty nice at the high school. We have a lot wider variety of opportunities for your student to get involved in, but having too many free hours in the day tends to lead to procrastination rather than having enough time to get their schoolwork done, which is what the kids think, oh, I have lots of time, I'll get it done. And what happens is they procrastinate until it's time to go to bed, and all of a sudden things don't get done. And so included with the slides for this presentation, there is a handout and some packet of information that I will provide. There will also be a PDF up on the website of those handouts, and one of them is a listing of the sports and the clubs that are available to our students here at Heartland High. So getting into the conversation about academic opportunities, what we pride ourselves on is the idea that we have programs that are suitable for every kind of learner. So for our students that are really looking to advance their education and push themselves academically, we have honors classes in all subjects. We do offer 17 different advanced placement courses with AP exams at the end of the school year. And the AP exam provides students the opportunity to get college credit for their coursework. We also have 2 programs for dual enrollment. One's called Traditional Dual Enrollment. The other is our Deep U of M Flint Partnership for Dual Enrollment. Traditional Dual Enrollment is a 1-for-1. So when we have a student that just wants to take one college class, something that they're interested in, or they want to take a few college classes, but they're very varied in their interests, the Traditional Dual Enrollment is a great opportunity. For students who are interested in a series of courses all related to the same subject area, like pre-engineering or pre-medical, that U of M Flint Dual Enrollment can be a great program for them. Dual enrollment is open to students in all grades, but realistically it tends to only work well for juniors and seniors. The DEEP program is only open to seniors. In addition to opportunities for advancement, we have a lot of opportunities for support. Tutorial is a support class that any student in any grade can take any semester that they want. We also have enrichment, which is support specifically for special education students, as well as a wide variety of special education supports within the building. Also, our teachers are really supportive. They're here for the success for their students, and every teacher is available for extra help. Some teachers it's before school, some teachers it's after school. Your student will have to get used to approaching their teachers to ask that information, but everybody is available. In addition, we have National Honor Society students who do free tutoring, as well as teachers that do some tutoring as well. And then in the realm of that career planning and that post-high school education, we have quite a few classes in business and technology and career and college planning that really can help your student explore what they might want to do after high school. And for our upperclassmen, our juniors and our seniors, we have a lot of career tech ed focused programs, things like culinary arts, early childhood development, agri-sciences. These programs are specifically aimed at certain career pathways and can be really informative for students when they take them in their junior and senior year of high school. So getting into some of the nitty-gritty of scheduling and the information that was presented to 8th graders today, the QR code that you see on your screen, if you're watching the web version of this presentation, you'll need that link. It takes you to the Class of 2020 web page nested underneath the counseling web page, and that's where the counselors have provided all of the scheduling information. Every single video, handout, link, flyer, PDF, it's all on the Class of 2026 scheduling page. In addition, there's a link to our curriculum guide, and our curriculum guide is our course catalog, and it really is one of the most underutilized resources. It contains a lot of information about the school in general, school rules, expectations, things like that. But starting about halfway through the catalog, you will see descriptions, course descriptions for every single class that we offer. And a lot of times kids just kind of go by the course title and don't really investigate any further. That curriculum guide is also housed on the webpage and is a resource that we really encourage you to look at. The curriculum guide, as well as the scheduling paperwork that I'm going to get into on the next slide, does reference a term that 8th graders aren't familiar with, which is prerequisites. So simply put, it's a course you need to take first. We explain to kids you can't take Spanish 2 without taking Spanish 1, therefore Spanish 1 is a prerequisite. Since that's something they're not used to looking for, that's an area of support that you can provide as a parent, making sure that your child is taking classes in the appropriate order. And then they were also given some information today on how to log into the computer system to enter their course requests, and I'm going to go over that information for you as well. So this is the scheduling form that your child received today. And so I'm going to walk you through this form. It's fairly straightforward, and yet there are always every year a couple areas that trip students up. This top section gives them some instructions, including the fact that this form is due back to their math teacher by February the 18th. And then their video, as well as this one, walk through how to fill in this form so that your child gets the classes that they actually want and need. This side here, this larger rectangular side, this is where your student's going to fill in their 7 credits of first choice classes. And the courses on this side are the only things they enter into the computer. There is a section for alternates, which I'll talk about in a second, but this section doesn't go in the computer system. So if you take a look next to each subject area, the credit amount for the classes, a section for teachers' initials when appropriate, and then the actual courses that are open to your student in that area. So English 9, A and B, A is the fall and B is the spring. Whenever you see an A and B, those two parts together make the full year of the course, and so your student does need to be careful to put both A and B into the computer. In this case, if a student is picking English 9, A and B, they would circle both of them. They would circle both of the 0.5 credits, and then their current 8th grade English teacher is going to initial in the box that that is what they're recommending the student for. Same for Honors English 9. That is set up as a full year class, no A and B, it's just all loads as one thing. Their teacher would need to initial that they're being recommended for the Honors English 9, or they're picking it, making a good choice in terms of their course selection. In social studies, there's a global studies A and B. All students take that. There aren't a variety of options. It's just global studies A and B. And the same thing with biology. Everybody will take biology A and B. When you get into math, you're again into a situation where your student has a choice. They might be taking Algebra 1 A and B. If they've just been in 8th grade math this year, it's probably going to be Algebra 1 A and B. If your student has been taking Algebra 1 in the middle school already, then they're going to be having a conversation with their math teacher about, are they moving on to geometry A and B, honors geometry, or if this year has been a tough struggle for them, their teacher might be recommending that they take Algebra 1 A and B in 9th grade, essentially repeating that 8th grade content again in the 9th grade, and that is completely fine. Math is really a ladder, and it's important that your child has a good foundation, otherwise they're going to struggle later on. So making sure that they're in the right math class is important. And then again, their teacher will initial whichever is the right level from Algebra to Honors Algebra 2 Trig. If it's an A and B, they'll circle both 0.5s or just the 1 credit. Moving on to world language, your child does not have to take world language in ninth grade. They are welcome to. Usually we would encourage a student who's been an AB student to think about taking a world language in the ninth grade. They do have 2 years of a world language that they have to take in order to graduate, and it's expected to be 2 years in the same language. So they can't take French 1 and Spanish 1 and satisfy their 2-year graduation requirement. They have to do Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 in order to satisfy that requirement. You'll see that the teacher initial box is empty here. That means we are looking for teacher initials when it comes to the world languages. If your student is currently in the first year of a world language, they will have their language teacher sign up for whether it's regular or honors of the next level of world language. However, if they're looking to start their first year of a world language in high school, then their English teacher would be the one signing off and initialing. So that's your English, social studies, math, science, and world languages. Moving down the sheet, we come to phys ed and health. Phys ed, please notice this part. If your student is going to fulfill their gym requirement by taking 3 years of band and band camp, or by doing 3 seasons of a high school sport, they should not, let me repeat that, they should not sign up for PE. So that's 3 years of band and 3 years of summer of band camp, or 3 seasons of a high school sport. It can be a mix. It could be track for 3 years, or it might be football in the fall and track in the spring, and then a totally different sport later on. It doesn't matter as long as it's 3 seasons of a high school sport. It has to be a Heartland High sport. It cannot be from your local club or travel team. It's got to be a Heartland High team. But if your child is going to do 3 years of either the music program or the sports program, please don't have them sign up for gym. Because what happens is they somehow realize in the fall, oh gosh, I didn't need to take gym, and they want to change their schedule, and they won't be able to change their schedule at that point in time. We are very flexible with course request changes from the day you watch this video up until the last day of school at the end of May. But we are not flexible at all with schedules in August. We typically just say no because we've designed and built the master schedule around the requests that the students put into place this spring. So it's really important that if they sign up for PE and then realize they didn't need it, they're not going to be able to get out of it. Health is a different animal that is required for all ninth graders. Every year we do have some students who want to test out of health, and there is a link on that counseling scheduling class of 2026 webpage to the test out information. The test out exam this year is scheduled for the Wednesday after school gets out. So it's that first Wednesday in June, and that is a one and only test date. We offer testing out once in June and once during midterm exam week in December, and signups for test out are available online. And again, that link is on that same scheduling counseling webpage. So as we're moving our way down, if your child has picked English, social studies, science, math, and world language, they've picked 5 credits here. Let's say they didn't need gym, but they are taking health. That would be 5.5. They have to get to 7 credits, and so they need a credit and a half of electives. And so they will fill in a credit and a half of electives in this section. Again, this total must equal 7. And on the next screen, on the back side of your child's course selection sheet, there is some information about the electives that are open to ninth graders. So this is just kind of a quick cheat sheet. You'll see that there's no course descriptions. You do have to go to the course catalog for that, but this backside can be particularly helpful because it's everything that's open to ninth graders, how many credits they're worth, and then particularly you can see in these world languages that P for prerequisite, or an AU means it's a class that needs an audition with a music teacher, and those will be advertised at the middle school, how to audition for the music, various classes in the music program. So going back to this front side of their course selection sheet, again, they picked their required classes. They picked however many electives they need to get to 7 full credits. And these would be the only courses your child's going to put in the computer system. Over here, you will see it says alternates, do not load these in the computer. and they're ranked 1 through 6. We need your child to fill in 6 other classes that they would be okay taking, that if we have some kind of a schedule conflict, we can refer to this list of classes that they're essentially saying, hey, I'd also be okay with these classes. We know they're not their first choices. We will only use them if we absolutely have to, but it's important that the kids fill them in. A lot of times we will find that a student just leaves this blank, and you don't want to have your student do that, because if it's blank, their counselor is simply going to pick an alternate and they're going to get what they get. So it's better to give us information for the classes than to leave it up to the counselor. The other thing that we sometimes see students do is they'll pick some of their first choice classes here. Maybe they picked auto and marketing as their electives, and then they put over here as their first choice auto and their second choice marketing. That doesn't actually do us any good, because if it's a duplicate of what they picked over here, we can't load them as an alternate. It just gives us less alternates to work with. So it is really important that your student fills this out. This box here for notes, this can be an area that your student could write something that they think their counselor needs to know. We will only look at this notes box if a student has a schedule conflict and we're looking at alternates. So this is not an area to leave some piece of critical information that their counselor needs. If there's something that their high school counselor really needs to know, it is important that you send an email or call the high school counselor directly. But in the event of some kind of schedule conflict, when we're looking at alternates, if there's a note here, hey, Mrs. Empey, if this class doesn't work and you have to go through my alternates, this is what I was thinking. Or I put a different world language in my alternates, but I don't really want 2 of them if I end up needing one. There's notes that the kids can leave to us in there that can be helpful. So it's just a spot for them if they need it. Down here, we need your student to sign, the parent to sign, and we do need the student's phone number. There is oftentimes that the counselors are working on student schedules in that week after school gets out in June. And if we run through alternates and we're so stuck that we're really having a problem, it's important that we have a way to get a hold of your student. Going back to the back side, again, the alternates and the elective side of the course selection sheet, just want to point out that this grid that we put down on the bottom, this is just a tool for you and your student. Since a lot of classes have prerequisites, it can be very helpful for a student to plan out which years they have classes that they want to take so they don't accidentally box themselves out of taking a class. So for example, if we have a student who wants to take one of our advanced auto classes, maybe they want to take auto 2 as a junior and they want to take auto 3 as a senior, they need to plan ahead and make sure that they take auto 1 in the 9th or the 10th grade, or they've boxed themselves out of that auto pathway. And we have a lot of classes that work like that they build on each other, and the students who plan ahead have the best chance of making sure that they get all the classes that they want. This is just a page for you to reference. This instruction sheet was sent home, was given to your 8th grader, and it just gives them an overview and some instructions on how to schedule. And in addition, this page came home with your student, and it lets them know how to put their course requests into our online computer system. So the scheduling process is twofold. It's filling out the blue paper scheduling form that they should have brought home to you today. That form will go back to their math teacher by February 18th. And in addition, before they turn in that form, they need to log their first choice classes into their student portal. So just some dates and deadlines that you're going to want to be aware of. So the students need to pick their classes, enter them into their student portal between now and February 18th. By February 18th, that blue sheet, that course selection sheet, that needs to go back to their math teacher. If you don't have computer access at home, please have your students see their counselor, Mrs. McLennan or Mrs. Hanson. They will be able to help them with computer access. Any students that are involved in our special education program, they should know that they are going to be having a meeting with their case coordinator to help them pick their courses for next year. And those blue sheets, again, those are due back by February 18th to the math teacher, and the courses need to be entered in the student portal by February 18th as well. Looking ahead, we start school in August. It always creeps up on us really quickly, and so there's a couple things that you're going to want to know for the next 4 years. Registration for the school year always happens in the beginning of August every summer. So the first week or so of August, you're going to want to be cautious about going on a family vacation, because your child will miss potentially miss some of the registration information. But the biggest year for it to be a problem is going into ninth grade, because we have our LINK program in the beginning of August. It's about a week and a half before school starts. Technically, the date is to be determined, although based on last year's calendar and the year before, it's probably going to be Monday, August 8th. We haven't firmly set that calendar, but it's probably going to be the 8th of August. It is a multiple hour-long program where your student will be grouped with about 8 or 10 other freshmen. They're paired up with 2 upperclassmen who are their LINK leaders, who will be their upperclassmen advisors throughout ninth grade. And at LINK, they will learn a ton about the school day. They'll get a tour of the building. They'll find out where their locker is. They'll get to make sure their locker works and they can open it. They will get their schedule. There will be time to turn in any last minute paperwork or things like that. It's just a really, really important and mandatory program. So it's important that you get that on your calendar. The first day of school this year, we expect, again, tentative, but we expect it's probably going to be Wednesday, August 17th, which is based on last year's calendar. So I hope you found this program helpful. Really appreciate you taking the time to kind of learn all the information that you need to be able to help your student. Again, there's that link to the Class of 2026 counseling webpage. One thing that I didn't point out earlier is on the website, most of our elective classes have created informational videos. So in addition to that curriculum guide with the course descriptions, there are lots and lots of videos that your student can look through regarding the specific classes that they want to take. And they can hear directly from the teachers how they describe their courses. There's a ton of other information on our website about sports and the music program and activities. There's a building tour, all kinds of things that you may find helpful. So if you use that QR code, it's going to take you right to the right link. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to the high school counselors, and we will help you any way we can. Welcome to the high school.